Welcome to Synergy Loves Company, where Disney connects to everything. Recently, I sat down with Rob Lachik from the Rare Cuts Media Society to talk all things Disney and hockey, NHL hockey, and we talked about Mystery Alaska, a strange movie where the New York Rangers play some small town team on a pond ice. I don't know. Take a look. Because you were talking about how where you are kind of can dictate what sports you're exposed to and into. And so up north, you're going to get more hockey players. And in the movie, the Hollywood Pictures film Mystery Alaska from 1999, we get a kind of situation just like that. So what I want to do with this Mystery Alaska thing is I want to kind of pitch the movie to you. And I want you to tell me, first off, do you want to watch this movie? Second off, I want you to tell me, could this really happen? So this is what I'm going to tell you. So Mystery Alaska is produced by David E. Kelly. If you're familiar, he's the guy from like the Boston Legal, Ally McBeal. He did a show for Disney Plus with John Stamos called Big Shot. And he's got these kind of drama kind of things. He's been very successful with them. So he's the producer here. He's making Mystery Alaska with an all-star cast like Russell Crowe, and he's got Hank Azaria in it. Good old Simpsons. So right there, though, I got to stop and say Russell Crowe and Hank Azaria in the same movie doesn't seem right to me. But regardless, let's move on. We've also got Burt Reynolds in this movie. Right? Who doesn't love Burt Reynolds? Okay, so I got these three.
Does he have a stash or no stash?
He's got a stash, but not like the stash that he had. It's a more subdued late 90s stash. So you got these three plus a bunch more pretty big stars that I won't rattle on about for a while here. And they all live in this town called Mystery, Alaska. And every Saturday, they play a hockey game. Like the whole town comes. This is like the only thing they do. So everyone in this town in Alaska plays a hockey game. And it's kind of like they pick teams kind of thing and play every Saturday. And you're chosen to be in the game. You can't just it's not a pickup game. You get chosen to be in the game. You get a slot in the game. And then when someone gets too old, they basically take them out to pasture and tell them they're not playing hockey anymore. And they get a new person to fill your shoes. So they take it seriously. So this community, this hockey community, gets a once in a lifetime chance to play against the New York Rangers on home ice, which means outside in Mystery, Alaska. Okay. Would you watch this? Does this sound like a movie? Like you're a hockey fan. Would you watch this movie?
I mean, I would be intrigued, but I guess I would say all right, it's confusing. What's driving the NHL team to come into play them? Are they being an expansion team? I'm so confused.
Yeah. So could this happen? Has the NHL ever done an exhibition game that you can recall with
I can't
anyone?
Recall any sort of I can't recall any sort of NHL team playing an amateur team. I'm trying to think of in other sports has there been professional teams playing an amateur team? The closest thing I could think of that is when Brewster's Millions, when what was the team that he was on played the Yankees or something like that, and then they got demolished. But I can't say that I recall any sort of amateur team playing a professional sports team in real life.
It's kind of a weird series of it's kind of a perfect storm of how it comes to be that they get to play each other. But it is a weird concept. It definitely has one of those it's definitely a feel good sports movie. But I feel a lot of times those good feel good sports movies are either based on a true story or they appeal to the family audience. like the Mighty Ducks. You know what I mean? Like that's a
Sure.
feel good sports movie, but it like appeals to the whole family instead of just like, you know, Mystery Alaska is not for the whole family. I'm going to say it feels like from watching it, it feels like the Mighty Ducks. Like it's kind of like heartwarming, and they have the little music, and then, you know, there's like little smiles across, like that's, you know, and there's like touching parts and there's sad parts. You could laugh, you could cry, but they all curse like sailors, like the whole movie. It's kind of like weird that they curse like sailors for the whole movie. And then there's some things that like, I don't, in 1999, like that doesn't seem too long ago, but like I'm watching it and I'm like, this movie is problematic in very many ways. So it did not age well. Also
and a
being
Disney
like,
movie.
Yeah, it's Hollywood Pictures, which was one of Disney's like offshoots. So that's why, you know, it's included in here. It's not specifically Disney branded. Disney usually doesn't put their name on anything with like a curse word in every other sentence. But of course they have other studio names to put it under, like Hollywood Pictures.
Sure.
Yeah, Mystery Alaska, New York Rangers. I don't think they're going to play against an amateur team. Now, let me ask you this, because I do know in my limited hockey knowledge, that they do play a game or two or whatever outside each year, the Winter Classic, right?
Yes.
So the game that they play in Mystery Alaska is an outdoor game, like to be like, you know, it's like where these guys in Mystery Alaska play. They play outside. Which is kind of, I think that's in the spirit of the Winter Classic, like to play like the traditional outdoor. Yeah. Did that, now this is an outlandish like claim, but can I make the claim that maybe Mystery Alaska led the NHL to do an outdoor game? Am I reaching too far?
Yes, you are reaching way
I was just trying something there.
So, and I'm trying to remember what college hockey teams they play. Like a lot of college, there's been a history of college teams playing outside. Okay. I'm trying to think of what's the one, Michigan and maybe Minnesota. I mean, they
that
play,
sounds
I want
like
to say they played
for sure.
Yeah. I want to say they played a game in Ann Arbor outside at like the football stadium. So, I mean, they probably had, I don't know how many, 40 or 50,000 people probably watch the game. But I mean, I think that the Winter Classics for the NHL, it's really more so of like going back to the spirit of like you first probably played hockey as a kid outside. That's really the kind of, at least always been my understanding. That's like what they always like talk about. And I mean, even all of the Winter Classic games that I recall watching, they always had like little tiny rinks around like the main rink, and they'd have like kids playing before the game, even during the game, like at the little rinks around. So it kind of like goes with the spirit. So not to burst your bubble, but I'm guessing Mystery Alaska was not the impetus for the Winter Classic.
I was trying something there. I was just wondering. Because I know the movie did not do well, but I was just, maybe. But I can see there's a long history of this that doesn't include Mystery Alaska. If you like this video, like and subscribe. If you really like this video, visit synergylovescompany.com for the full audio podcast.